If you're taking trad piano lessons, you might actually be learning a habit that slows down your ability to play creatively. We're going to talk about what that habit is, why it's actively taught in traditional lessons, and how you can switch into creative mode while still keeping that traditional learning. The habit is replacing a bass line arrangement with a memorized chord progression. Here's what it could look like. You're learning a pop song from a score and notice there's chords and think, oh nice, I don't have to read the bass staff now. Or say you can already play the melody by ear, so you print off a lyric sheet with the chords over the words. Now you're just playing the melody from memory and hitting those chords at the right time. These methods help you learn songs quickly, but there's a problem. You lose awareness of two important things that make the music interesting: the function of the notes themselves and cool bass rhythms. So we want to understand that some notes contain stronger emotional qualities. We also want to stay open to having cool rhythm with our bass. Still, there are times when it's good to play these basic chords without highlighting interesting note qualities, but we'll get to that later. Here's the first step. Simply eliminate the other chord tones and go by the letter of the chord. Instead of playing these full chords, play that bass line down low. Now we'll make it more interesting with rhythm. Basically, if you're replacing a bass clef arrangement with chords, you're not really simplifying it or making it more interesting. You're just adding in more notes that theoretically will harmonize. But first, we want to understand why chords are actively taught in traditional piano lessons when so much of the focus is on accurate note reading. It's because European classical music tends to follow patterns based on a set chord progression. The chords themselves might not be very prominent, but understanding chord function helps you keep track of where you are in the music score. Memorizing the chords in the key also makes you aware of borrowed chords, which are chords that are used in the song, but they're not in the key. But you don't need to know the full chord chart to make an interesting arrangement. You need to know which notes appear in those harmonies that are not in the key. Let's take a look at our chords again. The A flat chord and the A minor are not chords in the key of E because they contain one note that's not in the scale, C. So we're going to pick that note to add in to our plain bass line. Besides the extra rhythm playing on an octave, the only thing we're adding in is this flatted six, that one note in those chords that's not in the key. Then you can amplify it with this warm-up. It's kind of like a nice backdrop. I call it the nostalgic warm-up. You add that flatted six, resolve to the 5, and play it across your keyboard. I mentioned earlier that there's two times where it's good to have those plain chords without using any of the special functions of those notes or complex rhythms. The first is when you're an accompaniment to a singer and there's no other instruments. It's okay to have straight chords there because the goal is to highlight the singer's voice. So you do kind of want to blend to the background when you're playing on that occasion. Also, it helps because if you know your chords real well, you can play a bunch of songs that you haven't ever played before when you're playing, having a sing-along or something. Another time would be more like an exercise when you're converting a classical piece into chord style. It's a good exercise for fun because it makes you aware of how the music is organized. If you want to apply this, check out my other tutorials and focus in on the most simple aspect of the song and copy that and add your own rhythms. That's the place where you're going to really develop your own style. And as always, please like and share and subscribe to my channel. I do enjoy making these for you.